Mississippi. We are coming at you live from Carter Jewelers today. Come on down. We're down at the corner of High Street, State Street, and got lots of good merchandise and lots of good deals going on down here. But joining us now, Stephen Moore, writer, economist, former Trump advisor. Morning, Stephen. How are you today, sir?
Hey, good morning. Great to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. Caught you earlier this morning. On the business news, always enjoy your commentary and analysis.
Oh, with Stuart Barney. Yeah.
Yeah, with Stuart. Yep, watch it every day. Also love to see you on with Larry Kudlow, and especially enjoy it, Stephen, when it's you, Kudlow, and Art Laffer. That's always a pleasure to watch.
Well, Arthur is my mentor, and Larry and Art Laffer were the best man in my wedding, so that's
I didn't know that. Very cool. I didn't know that
from them. But the situation now, we got to get this economy all completely open and get rid of all the mandates, all the regulations, all the edicts, and all the controls by government. I mean, people are just sick of it. And what I was saying on Fox Business this morning is, these Canadian truckers have really stood up for freedom in an amazing way. And their message has really resonated throughout Canada and throughout North America and throughout the world. And, I just applaud what they did. We need to, as citizens, when there's government injustice, we need to, in a peaceful way, protest the unjust rulings of government.
Well, it seems like that what's been going on up there in Canada has been noticed really throughout the world. In particular here in the United States, where rather abruptly we had blue state governors and city leaders as well just dropping these mask mandates. We were just talking on the program earlier, L.A., the Super Bowl had very strict measures requiring all those who attended the game to wear an N95 mask, and we're actually issuing those to those as they came to fans as they came through the gates. Yeah. But yet, when I watched the cameras pan across the crowd, I didn't see any. So what happened?
I cannot confirm nor deny that, but you may be right. And I will say this, though, that look, the most important thing for, I think, our country to understand and my fellow citizens is that what we've done in the last 2 years in this country has been an outrageous failure, an epic failure of big government in every way. And we should never allow our government to do this again, to shut down our economy, shut down our small businesses, our churches, our parks, our schools. It was really, truly an outrageous violation of our basic constitutional freedoms. And we spent $5 trillion. We shut down our schools. How outrageous was that? I mean, the damage that was done to our kids, social and educational development, we're going to pay a price for 30 years for that. But $5 trillion we spent. And what do we get for it? Now that there's a big study that came out by the, I'm sure you've seen it, by the Johns Hopkins University that found that lockdowns had a very, very small positive effect on health outcomes, but very small. And they looked across states, they looked across countries. So, for $5 trillion, we got that. 1 million people still died, and the government threw everything they had at us.
Yeah. So just looking at kind of out into the winds, mostly headwinds, it appears, on our economy. So we got the PPI data coming out tomorrow. I know Stuart asked you about that, and kind of waiting and see where that goes. We've got, of course, geopolitical tensions that are always figure into the flow of oil and the overall supply of oil. We got oil that just seems to be edging closer to $100 a barrel, which it starts to make me think, Stephen, when you got the Fed with their limited tools, tapering potentially, they've already announced that, and then interest rate hikes. I saw the St. Louis Fed chairs calling for a full point by July, so 100 basis points. Is this going to cause the price of oil to decline? Because it seems like that is really a major driver of inflation.
So I was just as you were talking, I looked it up. So right now, the worldwide price of oil is about $95, $96 a barrel, and when Trump left office, it was like $60 a barrel. So that's a 50% increase in the oil price in 13 months, and that's going to obviously when the price of oil, that's the per barrel cost. So once it gets to the gas pump, what are you paying there in Mississippi? I mean, you're going to probably be close to, after all these price increases, cost increases go through, you're probably going to pay $4 or $5 a gallon. I don't know what you're paying right now. We're paying $4.19 here where I live in Virginia. Wow. And so that's a real hardship on people. Now, it's not, folks, this isn't like due to a act of nature or an act of God or some kind of uncontrollable event. This was what you would call an unforced error. Where do you remember what Biden's first rule was when he first came into office? His first executive decision?
Yeah, shut down the pipeline. Very first thing.
Yeah, shut down the pipeline. How stupid was that? I mean, really, how idiotic was that to shut down a vital part of our energy infrastructure when there was almost no environmental issues related to this? In fact, the safest and most environmentally friendly way to transport oil and gas is through pipelines, not on trucks and rail.
Right.
And so, and then he gives the green light to a pipeline in Europe, and pipelining it to pipeline from Russia to Europe, but he doesn't allow a pipeline from North Dakota to Houston. I mean, does that make any sense?
No, it's such a double standard. It's just crazy. But people seem to be waking up. I mean, that is a cause for a degree of optimism.
Yeah. Well, people are seeing the damage that's being done, and people are angry about it. And that's why, there's talk about this spreading freedom, revolution and convoy. Now, I'll say this. I think, look, the Omicron variant is in very rapid retreat right now. We're basically through this. And so there's no reason whatsoever. I don't know if you're under what kind of restrictions you're under there in Mississippi, but
not many
they should be lifted. What's that?
Not many left. We've been fairly open.
Left. Well, I live in Virginia, where we still are having this big. Are you following this big hullabaloo we have about the schools? They're not letting kids into the schools if they're not wearing masks, and parents don't want it.
Right. Yeah, I have been watching that, and school districts are essentially defying Youngkin's orders and saying that they don't care what he says, they're still going to require masks. I mean, Virginia's kind of been ground zero for this whole debate, it appears, in particular in Loudoun County.
That's why we elected. Yeah, you're right. It is ground zero, and that's why parents, this is a pretty blue state, and yet the parents were so upset about what government was doing to their kids. We had a thunderous election where Biden won the state by 10 points, and then Glenn Youngkin won by 2-3 points, and a big turnaround because people want their kids to be safe and educated and in school and in class. Now they're segregating the kids from they're not letting the kids without masks either in the school building or they're putting them in the cafeteria where they can't learn anything.
Crazy. I know. We shared the video, the sound from it at least, on our show last week. It's now gone viral over the weekend about the teacher coming into an elementary school classroom in the Las Vegas school district and announcing no more masks effective tomorrow, and the kids just erupt with joy and start dancing around the classroom.
I haven't seen that yet. I have to look that up. That's really great.
It's awesome, and they're tearing the masks up. Somebody's filming the whole thing, and it's just like it hurts your heart to see it, honestly.
I wear glasses and I have hearing aids, so wearing those masks, around my ears is, I've lost like 4 hearing aids because every time I flick off the mask, the hearing aid flips out. Those are expensive. They cost like $300. So I just and I also have some breathing problems. So and because I'm a little deaf, I can't understand people when they're talking through the mask. I can't understand what they're saying. So, I can't communicate with people. So I cannot wait for getting rid of these damn masks. And the masks, by the way, are basically a placebo. The positive effects of masks are very minuscule. And, so that's the other thing. The left loves to talk about science. Have you noticed this? But everything that they said originally about the virus has been, not everything, but half the things they said were wrong. So how are we supposed to understand what the science is when they change the science every few weeks?
And they never backtrack on that, which is disturbing.